Have you ever felt that the harder you try to reach something, the farther it seems to drift away? That perhaps the problem isn't what you desire, but how you expect it to arrive? What if life doesn't respond to force, but to stillness? What if the path to everything you want starts by doing nothing? Take a deep breath. Let it all go. Because in this space, something ancient begins to speak. Something quiet. Something true. Carl Jung once said, "Your vision will become clear only when you look into your heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes." The unconscious doesn't follow the ticking of your clock. While you're rushing to force results, it's waiting patiently, not for your effort, but for your pause. It's not laziness. It's not giving up. It's sacred waiting. It's deep listening. Because true transformation doesn't bloom under pressure. It unfolds gently, like petals, under the sun of your awareness. When your mind is tense, your thoughts become shallow. Like a stormy river, everything stirs, nothing is clear. But when you are calm, your waters settle. You can see the bottom. You can hear the whispers. You can finally sense where life wants to go next. Relaxation isn't the absence of doing. It's the presence of trust. It's the choice to say, "I believe in the process, even if I can't see the full path." In that state, ideas surface, dreams become clearer. The deepest parts of you begin to speak, not in loud words, but in symbols, in visions, in feelings that feel like home. The more we try to force insight, the more it escapes us. But when we surrender, everything begins to flow again. Relaxation is not weakness. It is the boldest statement of faith. I no longer chase. I allow. Not because I gave up, but because I finally learned how to receive. Most people think manifestation is about wanting something really badly, making lists, repeating affirmations, imagining the outcome over and over again. But Jung teaches us something different. Desire, in its truest form, isn't about force. It's about alignment. When desire comes from the ego, it's loud. It rushes, it compares, it doubts. It screams, "I want this now." But when desire rises from the soul, it whispers. It feels like gravity, soft but undeniable. The soul doesn't scream for attention. It doesn't argue. It waits patiently until you're quiet enough to hear it. And when you do, you don't chase anymore. You're drawn. Like a river returning to the ocean. Like a seed blooming into what it was always meant to be. Desire born from the soul doesn't need constant proof. It carries its own clarity, its own rhythm. So many of us achieve what we thought we wanted, only to feel empty. Why? Because we were rowing upstream, because we mistook someone else's dream for our own. But when you follow the whisper of your soul, even the hard things feel right. They don't break you, they grow you. The truth is, you don't have to fight for what is already meant for you. You just have to make space for it. Jung didn't see anxiety as weakness. He saw it as a message, a signal from deep within that your ego is trying to take control over something that belongs to your unconscious. Anxiety is the sound of a mind that doesn't trust. It wants to plan, to force, to control every outcome. But the soul doesn't work like that. The unconscious doesn't obey logic. It moves in images, metaphors, dreams. It needs silence, not noise, presence, not pressure. Anxiety is a byproduct of resistance when the conscious mind tries to micromanage a process that's meant to be felt, not solved. Jung believed that inside each of us is a quiet intelligence, something deeper than thought, something wiser than strategy. And when we lose touch with that, we suffer. But here's the shift. When you start listening instead of pushing, when you stop demanding and start trusting, the anxiety softens. Because finally, you're not fighting the process, you're moving with it. Carl Jung called it synchronicity, that mysterious way life aligns itself around your inner world. Not coincidence, not luck, but meaningful connection between your internal shifts and external events. You meet the right person at the right time. You read the right sentence that feels written just for you. You hear a song that answers a question you didn't even ask out loud. These are not accidents. They are echoes, reflections of your soul's movement in the world. But synchronicity doesn't show up when you're clenching tightly to control. It comes when you loosen your grip, when you trust that life is not random, but responsive. This trust is not passive, it's powerful. It means walking with your eyes open, your heart soft, your body relaxed, and your spirit listening. In this state, the universe doesn't need to shout, because you finally become still enough to hear its whisper. We live in a world addicted to speed, faster goals, faster growth, faster results. But the soul does not hurry. Carl Jung reminds us that the inner world works on a different kind of time. Not calendar time, not deadlines, but readiness. The unconscious doesn't bloom because you push it. It blooms because you've created the right conditions. Like a tree that blossoms in spring, not because it was forced, but because it was ready. Sometimes what we want is not late, we're just early. And that's okay. Because there's a rhythm to healing, a rhythm to clarity, a rhythm to becoming. Relaxation in this sense is not just a mood, it's a choice. A declaration that says, I trust the pace of my soul more than the pressure of the world. And in that trust, everything aligns. You don't have to chase, you don't have to prove, you don't have to fix everything right now. You just have to become still enough to hear the truth again. Your soul is not in a hurry. It knows where it's going. Let it lead. Let it bloom. Let it whisper you back to yourself. And maybe, just maybe, when you stop forcing things to happen, you'll realize that everything you truly need has been waiting for you in the quiet all along.